Good day, good people, and they're finding the year of the vibrant Toonlink Dave, Bravo Dave, and Amina Makaros are all around me because I've still not set this up. But sooner or later, they will all be behind me and it will be great. Today, though, we are back with AWE Rebellion after what turned out to be a very chaotic edition of Fracture on Friday. There was love in bloom. There was the elephant in the room. March 7th, dropping third Law Member Red. I hate to say it was Mahiru. Dropped her on her head from the apron onto the steel stairs in what is one of the most sickening displays that I've ever seen. Mahiru is in critical condition still. She's been in and out of being stable and not stable. Things don't look great. People have essentially been begging Shingo to do something, saying, hey, March needs to be banned. Shingo saying March is not going to be banned. Banning her just guarantees the thing that she wants the most, the reason that she did what she did. And that is having that title from March 7th to March 7th. So, Shingo La'Mingo has booked March in a Fight Forever Championship match on March 6th. And that match will be a gauntlet turmoil match. The number of potential participants to be selected in Fight Forever fashion by a wheel. There is a world where March only has to defend against like 2 other people, but there's also a world where I think it could be 10 or 20 or 30, you know what I mean? So we will see. I have to admit, yeah, I think it's necessary. I think that's, March can't just get away with that scot-free. March cannot, absolutely not. So one day before she hits that year mark, because of her actions on this past Friday, we'll see if it screws her over in the end. That being said, we have a fun show tonight, however. As you saw earlier, I believe, unfortunately, it seems like Shingo also has some major beef with Miku. And I don't necessarily know why, but it's led to our main event. Miku essentially needs to win to make sure that her disciples don't have to defend their tag team titles on this coming, not this coming Friday, the Friday the 6th, which is March 6th, which is Inferno. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Anybody who was in that match essentially, if Miku doesn't win, all of those teams get a title shot, which is insane. I'm not sure what kind of title shot it will be, but we will find out in the coming days, I suppose, or I guess the coming weeks, probably this coming Sunday. As we continue, though, we got a whole bunch of people in action tonight. We got some of the newly signed ladies. We got EST, Elphelt, and Athena. Elphelt and Athena had a interesting time this past Friday. If you haven't seen it, maybe go and see it. We'll talk about it a little bit. Mondo will face off against his bitter rival in Wario. And after trying to tear the mask off, we have Majima in action. This time, ECP's got back up. It is ECP and Nemona versus Fuyuhiko and Majima, the Yakuza. We're all starting the show with the new AWE Fight Forever champion. I'm talking Robbie, going one-on-one in an open challenge. Who will answer? Okay, now that entrances are on, now we can do it as the stars go. Goodness gracious. Sometimes, you know, the game do be doing this though, but we are on our road to a brand new 2K, but we're also on the road to a brand new Fight Forever champion for the first time since winning that championship last Saturday. Robbie Rotten is here, and he is number 1. Robbie Rotten has, I believe, only won 2 matches in the AWE. An incredible Gauntlet Eliminator match where he earned the shot to fight for this title. His second match ever winning that championship. If you told me a year ago that Robbie Rotten would be Fight Forever champion, I might not have disbelieved you. I'd say, hey, it might be a long shot, but he's out here, and he is now officially number 1 in the Fight Forever division. Embracing that Fight Forever attitude, he's saying if someone wants to fight tonight, hey, beat me now, maybe you get a title shot in the very near future. Robbie Rotten, who's coming out? That's Elphelt, huh? Elphelt, you can't... Wait, no, it's Punch Up with Elphelt. Okay, well, I think we're gonna have to talk a little bit more about this. Okay. I don't have my water, but I'll get it at some point. These two went out for drinks. Even though... Punch Up had a dinner night together with Sayori, as put together by Shingo La'Mingo, as the winners of the Valentine's Day Rumbles would go on to have a evening together. That evening was cut short by Elphelt, who said it should have been me, and essentially mated her, and is now coming out with Punch Up, so I guess things must have gone well. Goes underneath, little uppercut, and sweeping the leg. Hold on a minute for Punch Up. I'm not sure if Robbie Rotten is ready for this, because Punch Up already calling for Robbie to get up. Punch Up super villain turned superhero versus Robbie Rotten super villain. Or maybe super lazy villain. I'm not sure if we can really call him a super villain. Rolls that neck back, and now Punch Up has that grappling right, that big beefy forearm around the neck of Robbie Rotten. Robbie, he's struggling. He looks like he can't breathe right now. He's trying definitely to get the arm of Punch Up off of the neck, but it is to no avail. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's got the height advantage at the very least. The jaw of Punch Up might have just gotten cracked by the big beefy head of Robbie Rotten. Couple more shots to the gut. Went for a big boot, nailed it, landed it flush against Robbie. And, ooh, I was gonna say Punch Up not really a high flyer, but was able to jump over the ropes and deliver a leg drop. One. That's the one thing about Punch Up. He will definitely be able to pull himself up. He'll also be able to pull you up, and he will be able to punch you. Yeah, he will. He will punch up. Stomp. Ooh, no, not a stomp on the arm. Usually we see a lot of superstars just stomp that arm, wear it down, and Punch Up's greatest assets are those arms. So smart decision by Robbie Rotten, but maybe a weaker decision right afterwards. Oh, it's that referee. It's that referee. Disgusting. Drop face first onto the turnbuckle. Big stomp. And just sending Robbie down. Right now, Punch Up is completely fresh. One. And kick out. Elphelt clapping on in the side over there, which is not what I expected, but here we are, you know what I mean? Punch Up then just tossing Robbie again. Elphelt so jazzed up on the outside and tossed into the ropes. Scoop slammed onto the knee. Goodness gracious. 1, 2. That's what we're talking about. We're talking superhero versus supervillain. That's technically what we're looking at right here. Reformed supervillain going against, reformed supervillain going against laziest supervillain of all time. Robbie trying to collect himself. We're at a count of 3. Has no intention of getting back in the ring yet. Using that time, making sure he can stay a little bit more lazy. But now look at this, trying to get some offense in on Punch-Up. Neckbreaker lands. The one thing about all of this is Punch-Up has been going for a whole lot of pins. So Robbie's been able to build up a whole lot of that signature bar, but Punch-Up very strong, able to rip the limp noodle arms of Robbie from around his neck. And Punch-Up now punching straight instead of punching out. Double X to the back. Up on the top rope again. Elbow drop doesn't land. Does not land in the slightest. Over through the ropes. Oh, but look at that. Punch-Up with a reversal. Punch-Up now has a signature, and he's using it. Big ol' knees right to the back. It's an Irish curse. Over and over again. Robbie stands right back up, though. It was very dangerous because he could have stood right back up and had his nuts gotten punched up. In fact, that still may happen. Punch down. And drag over to the corner. And another shot right to the face. Oh my gosh, what is Punch-Up doing? Oh my gosh, onto the shoulders. Is this gonna be white noise? No, it's a rolling. Goodness gracious. Robbie in dire straits. 1, 2. Count of 2. Not working out in the slightest for Robbie. Robbie is getting, at this point in time, destroyed by Punch-Up. Elbow drop to the heart. And a second. And one more time, Elphelt is likely adoring what is going on right now. Look at her just like over here, like she's enamored with Punch-Up. Crazy work. Those two may have actually had a good time together. Pinfall on Robbie, that might be enough for resiliency. 1, 2. Champion still doesn't burn. Champ still doesn't burn. Stomp on the face. Stood right back up. Punch-Up, who has been in fight rings in the past. A big clothesline over the top rope. Almost crashing into Elphelt as the referee begins her count. Maybe. Took her sweet time. Referee might be as bad as Joy. Punch-Up goes diving. Nobody's home. Punch-Up's got 2 finishers. Robbie doesn't have anything to his name, but that could change as Punch-Up is tossed right into the steps. Yanking those arms back and sitting on the lower back of Punch-Up. Yanking the arm and stomping away at the face. Again and again. And then a sit. That is the move that won him the title. That is the move that won him the title. Hold on, we're at a count of 7. Count of 8. Robbie actually not taking the lazy way out. Punch-Up makes it in just narrowly, but takes down Robbie. Robbie doesn't have, hold on, no resiliency. 2. That might have been a perfect opportunity. Turn back around. 1. Turn right back around. That's 1. Still no resiliency. Kick out at 1. But a big boot right afterwards. Pinfall again. Robbie, no resiliency. He's been caught unawares on 2 different occasions, but not right then and not right there. Here's the thing. Punch-Up has a super finisher on lock. If Punch-Up decides to use it, it could be curtains. It could be game over. Onto the shoulders. Walked over. Rolled through again. Did that from the top rope earlier. And now is up on the top rope. Went for a double stomp, but ran right into that #1 face slam. I'm not sure what he calls it. I'm going to have to ask him about it afterwards. 1. That was his finisher, and that was 1. Big yikes for Robbie. Measured elbow shot, but Punch-Up rolls out of the way. And a nasty clothesline, but caught by Robbie. Robbie's fighting his way back into this action. Fighting his way right back into this fight. Scoop slam lands. Punch-Up trying desperately to get back onto his feet, but look, Robbie fired up by this audience saying, are you guys feeling lazy tonight? But, oh no, he's doing the thing! He's punching up! And champion is now down for 1, 2, and that's resiliency. That is indeed resiliency. Oh no, what is going on here? Oh no, no, no! Dropped him face first, and honestly, that might be enough. 1, 2. Oh? He's a champion for a reason. We saw his tenacity in that match against Mitarai, but tenacity only gets you so far. Especially if you have a crotch to be punched. Oh, he's not going for the crotch shot. He's going for the big boot. That big Irish boot into the pinfall. That's 1, that's 2, and that is all she wrote. Punch Up takes the victory tonight over Robbie, the new champion. You might, just saying, you might see these two go at it again in the future. Maybe for the title on the line. Robbie's reign has just begun, but he's already suffered a major career-defining loss. Bam! Drop right onto the knee. Punch Up was dominant tonight. Punch Up was admittedly unlike anything we've ever seen from him before in the past. Here's where Robbie started to make a major comeback, hit that finishing maneuver right to the skull of Punch Up. Went for a clothesline, but Punch Up was there ready, and he did the thing. Right into the nuts of Robbie Rotten of the champion. Somehow got the shoulder up afterwards. That shocked me. Robbie definitely still showed heart, showed determination, but at the end of the day, one more backbreaker and one more boot knocked Robbie senseless. His arms were close enough to the ropes, but he was out cold. There was no moving from there. Not then, not there, as a Punch Up takes the victory. Hey, good on him. You know what he do? He do punch up. And I'm gonna say, we didn't learn it the hard way, as the stars go. Robbie certainly learned it the hard way. Poor guy, as we continue. Let's go on. Punch Up making a name for himself, but that being said, also people who have kind of made names for themselves, question mark. Two teams going at it after seeing some major disrespect. Tonight, it is the Yakuza, and it is ECP and Nemona. Who comes out on top? I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm sure ECP is dying to get her hands on the new United World Champion in Majima, and we'll see what unfolds between these two teams as the stars. Go black. And out first. Entering separately. Fuyuhiko. Fuyuhiko has not had the same, success as Majima. He seems to be a backup player for Majima. Tonight, he's got Majima's back, especially now that Majima's finally brought gold to the Yakuza. Fuyuhiko very excited to be here tonight, I suppose. Pardon me, the babyface gangster. Slingshot Fuyuhiko. Let's see what he's able to do tonight. I'm not sure if they're doing big cheers or big boos for him tonight, actually. I will say, I'm excited or interested to see how the audience reacts to Majima. A lot of people, first of all, everyone voted Majima to be in that spot for the United World Championship. And then he tried to rip off the mask of ECP. Okay, if y'all are gonna have the same music, you gotta come out together. Come on, girl. Come on, boys. And there he is. Title in hand, over shoulder. You all voted him in. And now he is here. AWE United World Championship around his shoulder. That belt has had a short lineage so far, not even a year old. It started as it was incepted and given, or I guess earned, by Arrow. Arrow defended for over 100 days until Amy Rose took that title. Amy then held it very briefly until an incredible triple threat match, which was, and still is potentially, one of the matches of the year. Until last and most recently, ECP had her mask nearly ripped off, and that one motion was enough to make sure Majima had a strong advantage to take the victory and become United World Champion. That being said, ECP's got friends here. Number one friend here, Nemona. Nemona said, hey, if you need backup, I've got your back any day of the week. And tonight, she has her back. Nemona teams up with ECP here tonight against the Yakuza. Okay, yep, she's definitely kind of planking in, to be honest. Nemona, she just wants to battle. She wants to brawl, she wants to fight. And who better to brawl and fight with than ECP? How will this play out? I don't know. I haven't opened Uma Musume in a hot minute. I'm not going to do that, to be honest. This is Year of the Horse after all, and speaking of horses, ladies and gentlemen, welcome ECP. ECP is here. And ECP is ready to show the world what it means, first of all, to be a luchador. But show Majima what happens when you try to mess with the mask of a luchador. We don't have that many luchadors here in the AWE. We have DJ wearing the well, first of all, a difference between luchador and masked wrestler. When we're talking about specifically masked wrestlers, we have Golden, we have DJ, we have ECP. I'm trying to think if we have any. I suppose we have the Amazing Ninetales wears a mask. I think that is true. I'm not sure if anybody else is an actual masked wrestler or luchador. You know what I mean? But we're gonna find out if ECP can get the pinfall on Majima with help from Nemona. 2-on-2 action starts right now. Oh my gosh, Nemona nearly taken off the face of Fuyuhiko. Now, in terms of like being a tag team, neither of these two teams have been able to quite get the job done when it comes to winning tag team championship matches or winning tag team championship opportunities, really. Over and through the ropes and a double shoulder tackle. You can see ECP frothing over there at the mouth saying, come on, tag me in, I want him. But an Enziguri keeps Nemona down. Nemona able to push him back away. Goes back after the champion with a big old kick. Went for a stomp right afterwards, off the ropes, luring him in, and a drop kick this time lands. With the cleats too, keep that in mind. Probably digging into the skin of Majima, and I'll tell you what, Majima's certainly been through worse in his day-to-day career. But as we, oh my gosh, see that arm get yanked back and twisted over to the side. Nemona saying, you did that to my friend, to my tag team partner? You gotta imagine Nemona's probably just as incensed as ECP, as El Condor. Pasa won, but just one. Just one, and Majima just stomping away at the face of Nemona. The Yakuza being, have been a little bit more aggressive, saying that they want this to be their year. Pecco and Monica and Electro likely wanted to come back into the fray sooner rather than later, and I think that might happen, especially with Majima at the helm with the United World Championship. Hold on a minute. Sweeping that neck and a double kick. Nemona has been in this matchup the entire time so far as Fuyuhiko gets back into the action. Nemona thought about making that tag. She thought about making that tag. Not gonna happen. Fuyuhiko still wailing away at her arms, her midsection, her body. Climbing up to that middle rope, but she kips right back up, but gets put back down with an axe handle. Oh, and a kick right there as well. Fuyuhiko staying in firm control Nemona is in dire straits as a nasty spine buster lands. The back of her head bouncing against the mat on the way down as well, very close to being stunned. Not what you want to see if you're in this position, especially not if you're ECP. Kick out. Very quick kick out. ECP does not come to help, saying, just give me in, let me hit that tag into the corner again as these two continue making these frequent tags. As Majima, the champion, gets darted right into Nemona. And again, ECP waving the hand saying, come on, tag me in. But Majima not letting it happen, I think was going to go after ECP there for a second, but ECP knocked him down. ECP saying, okay, if I can't get tagged in, I'll take the fight to you, but Majima may have baited her in. Lifts ECP right back up and still might be going after that mask, got the hands on the head, but look at that reversal by ECP as Majima's tossed to the outside. Goodness gracious. I didn't know that, okay, never mind. I knew they had beef. We saw it all happen on Valentine's Violence. That doesn't just go out of the way after a week. That might be a blood feud. Not for nothing, Nemona powerbomb position, and powerbombs the head, neck, and shoulder of a Majima against the steel barricade. We're at a count of 5. And Nemona trying to hit her, oh my gosh, signature. And we're at a count of 7. ECP has still not been legal in this competition as Majima's saying, I'm just gonna win this thing by countout, and we're gonna call this close. And before I do, let me take down this horse. And try it again. You saw again, he had the hands on the mask of ECP. Okay. Well, sure. And you know what? Disgusting, by the way. They kept Nemona in, just taunting and teasing ECP. This was a 2-on-1 assault. ECP was never in this fight. They just ganged up on Nemona. Watched, and they forced ECP to watch. And here's the thing. Majima just basically taunted ECP, put the hands on the mask again, especially here at the end, saying, now that this match is over, let's unmask you. Luckily, ECP was able to swipe the hands away. Admittedly, despicable work from the Yakuza. Won this thing, and here's the other thing. Majima could have tossed, Nemona back into the ring, but instead said, no, you go over there, and you can see all of the hatred between these two teams now. Goodness gracious. I was gonna say, you saw. I'm not sure if you saw it. Majima could have tossed Nemona back into the ring, but instead he said, to the stairs with you, I'm gonna go get a hand on your partner. I have a feeling that this might be far from over, as you give me the stars. I wasn't expecting to hear this song, but okay, that's fine. A good song. Very nice. We will continue, though, as we are entering a little triple threat action. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm here for it. And so we go on. I guess the $1 million question is still, are you ready? As we have a triple threat match of some new signees, let's get on to it as the stars go. Black standard triple threat action, but with a twist. It was interesting that we heard this music before because this time I expected to hear it. The special guest referee in this matchup, Sayori, is here. Sayori had a very interesting Friday night. One that I'm sure she will remember. It started with a super villain turned superhero rather at McDonald's, and it turned into a lovely night at the arcade with Athena and Polonia. Sayori calling this matchup. Very excited to get into the ring, even if it's not to compete right today, here and now. But we'll see what she's able to do. Nothing. Call the match. Hopefully down the middle. Well, she can't be worse than Joy. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all saw what Joy did on Friday. Can't be worse than him. Because that guy sucks. I know he's not even here tonight. But he'll catch strays. He'll catch every stray he needs to because he's a sack of trash. He should be fired not as a referee, but he should also just be fired in general. He should be fired out of a cannon into an active volcano. Wait a minute. I keep getting not ready for it because it is the EST of the AWE. Ladies and gentlemen, EST. I have said her name so often, it's just EST. I'm not sure I can actually say her name. You can call her whatever you want, but to me, she's always the EST. She entered the Valentine's Day Rumble at #1. Was not able to really show what she can do in the ring. Tonight, she looks to do exactly that. Points off to the audience. EST is here tonight. A flyer from Fire Emblem. And we'll see what she's able to do. If she's flying in the ring, it's actually a really good question. Will she be? I guess we'll see. I guess we will see, Raggy. EST, welcome to AW. But also, we have... You saw her earlier tonight, surprisingly, supporting Punch Up. Oh! Oh! Apparently it's going both ways. Because now out here supporting Elphelt is Punch Up. Well, never in my wildest dreams did I expect Punch Up to actually come out with Elphelt. They must have had a very okay time. Either they had an okay time, he was duped into signing a marriage certificate, something odd happened, but I don't have all the details. Elphelt is here tonight with Punch Up, and she is competing. Will she get the victory like Punch Up got earlier? Are we about to witness the forming of a power duo? I don't want to say power couple. I don't know what they are. But I'll tell you what she is. She is a competitor here to fight tonight. Elphelt. The first time ever competing in that Valentine's Rumble tonight. Competing for her first time in a match that's not a match that is a over-the-top rope battle. However, this woman now has had one match under her belt. I'm talking about Miss Athena. With okay, all right a minute, with Polonia. Apparently these two are pretty buddy-buddy as well. They had themselves a one-on-one match, but apparently it was really just a friendly one-on-one match saying, hey, let's do battle, maybe helping her train, helping each other be the best version of themselves, and even went to the, well, okay, there might be some bias in this match. Because, you know, just recently Sayori had a very fantastic time with Athena at the arcade after that dinner event with Punch Up. I'm trying so hard not to call it a dinner date because a PR nightmare. Athena is here tonight with Polonia. EST is just all alone, which is unfortunate. I guess we'll see how it plays out though. EST. Elphelt. Athena. And Sayori calling it all. Punch Up and Polonia at ringside as EST just from the background saying, woof, wait a minute. Drop kicks Athena into the ropes. Almost had her in 619 position, but I want you guys to remember, it is one pinfall gets the job done. EST now dueling it out with Athena. I was gonna say Cykes goes up and oh my gosh, they almost collided in midair. We're thinking the same thing at the same time, but look at that. Athena catches Elphelt with a drop kick, both going for moves there. EST stepping out of the ring, needs to step back in if she wants to break this thing up, but Valentine kicks out. That was, I think, instantly broken up there by Elphelt, and now Elphelt and Athena both going after EST. Knee strike there. as Athena throws Elphelt into the corner. Valentine able to reverse on the Cykes. Combination lands and Cykes is down. EST trying to get into the mix. She's the strongest and now she's the fastest person going into the corner, but Punch Up saying, I'm about tired of all of this. He's probably saying top of the morning to you. He's probably not saying that. Oh my gosh, he might! EST just took them both down with that table. But look at that, Elphelt drop kicking EST into that table, saying, excuse me, my future husband put that table in the ring. That means it's mine. But a crossbody, a running flying crossbody, as this matchup is continuing to go crazy into a roll up there. One, but just one, broken up. So we're doing a very great job of calling this matchup right down the middle, but it is, admittedly, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. A tough match to call, just in a throat hold. Oof, hit them both, but didn't quite knock them down. Both of them were able to still stand tall. And look at this Elphelt with a reversal, but not from behind with a back elbow, as Polonia is now ripping the turnbuckle pad off of the turnbuckle. It's exposed. Athena not gonna be the one to, what is Elphelt doing here? Off the ropes, no, shot knee strike right onto the jaw. Elphelt means business here tonight and then dropped herself onto the table. I suppose the business is no longer as usual. EST picks up that table. And then gets dropped. Oh my gosh, doesn't get dropped, I'm sorry. She drops Elphelt with it as Elphelt goes crashing into the trash can. EST is on fire right now. Climbing up to the corner, knee strike and tossed into the corner. Athena looking for her first win here in the AWE. In fact, all three of them are looking for their first win here in the AWE. This will be a first-time winner. Who will it be is the million-dollar question. Off the ropes. Goodness gracious, I think that actually caught Athena, but it was still getting rocked. Elphelt trying to take down EST. EST able to jump out of the way, goes all over the way out of the way, and then runs into each other, and now all three standing, staring at each other for a second there. Back elbow may have just saved Elphelt. Elphelt getting dragged to the ropes by Athena. I thought got pulled away, but instead, if this was a rumble again, could have gotten eliminated, but whatever move was about to just go down there. Hold on, Punch Up, yelling at EST, is saying, hey, I put that table in the ring for my, for my partner? What did he say? I'm not entirely sure what he said. But apparently he was defending Elphelt and said, hey, that table wasn't meant for you. It was meant for her as a, oh wait, that was a heart punch. Elphelt with a heart punch drove the fist right into, directly to the heart of Athena. EST kind of just watching, saying, okay, I'll just let them work this out amongst themselves. And honestly, smart move by EST. EST is the only person who doesn't have help in this matchup tonight when you look at all three of the competitors here. Look at that, Elphelt wisely putting down the table as well, saying if I go in there, I might be getting put through it. Tossed over the top rope again, EST. Oof. Dropping the neck of Elphelt. Oh my gosh, I thought she was about to go diving. I would have been like, come on, EST, calm down. Take it easy, there's a right from, oh my gosh, a nasty right from Athena. Trying to drag Elphelt, and look at that, Punch Up now taking a turnbuckle pad off. Sayori not replacing them, which is fine. It's a triple threat match. No disqualifications. Yeah, that's fine, I suppose. And look at that. Elphelt actually used Polonia against Athena. I'm sorry. Essentially, when you throw somebody into Polonia, it's like throwing them into a wall made of metal. Smart move. In-ring IQ is much higher than I would have ever expected from a woman who's only been in the ring 2 times to my knowledge. EST looking over at Athena, calling for Athena to get up. All 3 women do have a, oh my gosh, a finisher, but as EST was setting up for a move from behind, Elphelt again proving she's got that in-ring IQ, stunning EST, looking over at her first and driving the neck of Athena in to the ring for a signature 1-2. And Athena does not burn resiliency. Hold on. Hold on. We still got motion, but Elphelt's got 3 finishers is what she has. Popped up, sent down. EST is so fresh in this matchup because the other two were just fighting each other. Goes over the top rope. And a DDT, reverse DDT. Athena going for a big boot there. We know Athena's got that mood swing. Oh, tossed into Sayori. Yo, Elphelt has been tossing everybody into, oh my gosh. Tossed into the table! Athena went crazy saying, you just ran me to Sayori? That's that's my, who? What? My what? I'm not sure, but Elphelt clearly not happy about it as she is going for the love bomb. But it's broken up with authority with a kendo stick. But EST, oh my gosh, look at the combinations here into a, oh my gosh, a big axe kick. Still on her feet though. And drop down. Okay, a lot has happened here in the last like 30 seconds of action. And I'm surprised that nobody's really gone for a pin outside of the one that happened. Turn around. Reversed, actually, I believe, the finisher, and they're working together against Elphelt. Oh my gosh! Held her head into place as now she goes flying and catches Athena too. EST, all she's got to do is go for, I'll tell you what, a pinfall on Elphelt. Elphelt's got no resiliency. Oh, but right now she doesn't have a chance in the world after that power bomb, that fly bomb. Kick out. Kick out. But this is the place where she's most familiar. Big Pegasus splash. But clearly Athena's gonna break it up. Okay, they're having some fun tonight. The girlies are having some fun tonight. EST tossing the ropes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get such height on a frog splash like that. She calls it the Pegasus splash. It's like a frog if it had wings right afterwards, tossed up, but ooh, drop down Athena, goodness gracious. Elphelt back in control, going after Athena again. Look at this, but Athena fires right back with another right, turns Elphelt around, and we've seen this before on Friday. She did it to a massive 500+ pound robot, but the mood swing lands, but from behind EST again goes top rope, has everyone right where she wants them. Pegasus splash. Oh my gosh, but Athena already back up, y'all. Elphelt just had a terrible, like, 30 seconds, dude. She had a bad time, but Elphelt's still up. Elphelt's still up. Into the corner. Stomping EST, and then drops her again. Athena rolls out of the ring, and everyone's out of the ring. She talks to Punch Up for a second, getting distracted, and then puts up the sledgehammer, maybe at the decree of Punch Up. Oh, but that reversal from EST made Elphelt actually hit Punch Up, but she was not too keen on what just happened, and now she's wailing away at EST. Saying, you pushing me out of the way made me hit my love, and another heart punch. Punch Up rooting her on. Okay. All right, those two got something going on. Everyone still has resilience in this fight, but I want to point out in a fight like this, when you get pinned, you might not have resilience anymore. You might not have it built up. Oh my gosh, whipped around and into a submission hold on the outside. Elphelt trying to yank the neck back on EST, trying to burn her on the outside. Honestly, not a terrible decision this late in the match. Oh, but almost a zigzag out there by Athena. This matchup is getting hard to call. There's so much going on. There are no beats, there are no breaks. It's just, there are no beats, there's no breaks. There's beat downs and broken noses, broken limbs, broken hearts. Oh, but a stomp right there. EST has been able to catch both of these competitors. EST seems like the odd girl out, but I think that's exactly what she wants everyone to believe. She's hit those Pegasus splashes 2 times, not 1 time, but 2 times on Elphelt, and you can see the body injury, and that's likely what caused the most of it. But she also got hit by the mood swing. Elphelt's had a really bad time. Elphelt going after Polonia! Elphelt goes after Polonia! I can't believe that! But look at this, dodging that kick. On the outside, though, look at this, firing away. EST. Pinfalls can only happen in the ring. Polonia luckily still standing. And it looks like that's another heart punch. But what is this on the outside? Dropping a little white noise, which is kind of crazy. Calling for, I think she was calling actually for Elphelt to get up. Waved the hand around like this, like it was time for the mood swing, stomped on the arm. And a submission outside the ring, trying to burn. Broken up on the, really, EST? Oh my gosh, wheel kick, Athena! Wheel kick into the chair, dude, goodness gracious. Okay, I think, look, Widget might be broken because right now I feel like Athena's probably in red contention. She is an angry girl. She is an angry lass. And it's likely because Elphelt did a hurricane run on her buddy who was just watching and supporting her from the side, backing up. But Elphelt firing right back into EST. Ooh. Jumping neck breaker, but oh my gosh, trying to steal a pinfall here. EST has no resiliency. 1, 2, reversed. Elphelt has no resiliency. 1, 2, EST stole the win. What a chaotic match. That's what I was talking to you guys about. All three of them had resiliency, but in a match like that, you might not have it built up. Resiliency takes a good chunk of that bar to build up. And I'll tell you what, at the last moment, Elphelt did not have it. Keep in mind, Elphelt took 2 Pegasus splashes from EST. And Elphelt did some major damage to everyone here, dropping Athena on her neck. Everyone looked great in this fight. When it came down to the last moments, there it is, that love bomb that she calls the heartbreaker. She puts her hands like in a heart position before dropping you down. But then the power game of EST, she might be the strongest in the AWE, but a kick out. And this is where these two are firing back and forth, and this is where we saw that move again. The mood swing, no hands, and sends her flying. But from behind a drop kick, EST's positioning was picture perfect. As a punch lands right to the heart. And that heart punch landed over and over, and again, I was gonna say over and over again, so much so that it was in 2 separate replay packages at the end. It is EST. She's on her own. No sisters by her side tonight, but she is standing tall. And Sayori actually, admittedly, did a very good job as a referee. Good, like, better than Joy. She actually was pretty perfect. Joy, however, was a sack of trash, a load of garbage, and hopefully is 1 step closer to getting out of my my company. That being said, we got 2 more matches. I'm very excited for both of them, but I do need to go and get some water, so I will be right back. And now, here we go. It is, admittedly, something many people have been looking forward to. He stole his bike, and he stole his jacket, and tonight, it's not the first time they've gone one-on-one, but it's the first time in a long time. Because we need to talk about this Little Stars Go. Black. So, these two fought over Pai's jacket back in October? November? Something along those lines. During that time, Mondo was getting kind of bopped by Wario, but was able to build his way back, come back, win the jacket, and win the match. Since then, admittedly, his life has gone downhill on a tremendously rough roller coaster, I suppose you could say. Losing his championship to Oman, losing almost every single one of his open challenges, and I'll tell you what, he still hasn't found that spark again. He came through and had a great match against Mew, but then ended up still getting out first in a qualifying match, I believe, for the Royal Crown, and out is the man who still has his motorcycle and still has his bike. One half of the longest reigning tag team champions in history. For the gentlemen, for the men. let's also clarify that. Although we did just recently see the longest reigning champion, tag team champions rather, the longest reigning champions in AW history, which could, you know, change a little bit. Depending on what happens at Inferno. The Rack and Psalm team up again for the first time in a long time, and they definitely still have it. Wario, however, he's just happy to be here. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that, but it looks like the leather around the backside of Wario, it looks like it's worn down. Yeah, dude. I don't even think Mondo wants this jacket back, really. The motorcycle's probably a biohazard too. It's just like Pai's jacket. Goodness gracious. Wario versus Mondo. This is the second time they've done it, but this is a different, and I hate to say it is a very different Mondo. A Mondo who has fallen on hard times. We'll see how this thing plays out. Waving his arms around. Mondo probably has a lot of aggression built up based on Wario and what has happened with him in the past. He's beaten, in fact, he's beaten Pai and Pai and Mondo in tag team action, I believe. But tonight, well, let's keep it a buck. He's also beaten Pai and Splendid in tag team action inside of a steel cage. But that's neither here nor there. Mondo just wants people to look at him the same way again. And I even think that's the case. I feel like Mondo wants to look at himself the same way again. It's why he hasn't just said, I'd like my ultimate back to... Wait. What? What is going on? He's trying to beat... He's... Referee! First of all... This third law member... came out and attacked... Mondo. Mondo was able to take both Wario and this third law member down. Goodness gracious. And I'll keep it a buck with you. I thought this third law member had a bunch of bad times, a bunch of beef with, oh my gosh. I was gonna say a bunch of beef with Pai, but looking at him now, oh my gosh. Reversal. Wait a minute. Looked like he was going for some sort of suplex, and look at this Wario just saying, ah, yeah, it's time. And now I'm thinking to myself, I thought I knew who this was, but there's still a world where we don't. Came in, attacked Mondo, went after the knees and legs of Mondo to give Wario an advantage. Why? This third law member, and first of all, we also need to point out the referee didn't do anything. The referee just kind of let everything happen. I think this was supposed to be a singles match unless Shingo La'Mingo said, you know what? Maybe has special instructions for this specific referee because this is a referee that Shingo has hired. And I'll tell you what, everybody who's been a referee under Shingo's command for the first time has been pretty terrible. Has been pretty god-awful, to be completely honest with you. But I digress. Mondo's still not losing fight after what has transpired. Tossed over, whipped through with that arm, but Mondo's still fighting back. Almost has a signature and a finisher built up. Could be enough to put away Wario here tonight, but Wario rolls out of the ring. Rolls back in and back out. but then tries to whip Mondo down, and Mondo goes flying and flopping, popped up and sent down onto the back of his neck. Get right back up. But look at this, face first, and now we're seeing Wario start to take advantage of that interference from before. That simple-minded third law interference, but look at this. Oh no, was going for trying to clean Wario's clock, but he stopped the arm and sent him down, and now Wario, is climbing up to the middle rope, steps right back down. He's got a finisher. Mondo's got nothing now. Oh, how the tides have turned. Think about it like this. In the past, once again, as we said, Mondo was able to just decimate Wario by the end of things. This is a different Mondo. It is a Mondo who lost his ultimate talent. It is a Mondo who is hurt and maybe broken. It's a broken Mondo, broken inside, but still trying to get some advantage on Wario, but that big Wario splash as he's calling up Mondo, and we've seen this many a times before, but we're not going to see it again because reversal by Mondo, the signature. I'm sorry, the finisher actually. But he still has the signature, and if he lands it, Mondo could be in grave danger, but Mondo reverses that too. Punches Wario right in the jaw, and Wario is fighting an uphill battle even with interference. Mondo fired back up. Thought about climbing to the top rope. Mondo realizing the referee's not calling anything in this match, so he's going to take it to the extreme with a sledgehammer right to the ribs over and over again on Wario. Thought about going for the pin, but Wario rolls out of the ring. And Mondo not going to follow. This turned into, it's not Extreme Rules, it's still counting. At the very least, it's still counting. I got no answers for you. I wish I had answers, but I don't, as Mondo gets lured out and tossed into the LED board. Wario is, at the very least, an opportunist. At most, he is a sickening, vile human being, question mark, big crossbody again, and now we're starting to see the wear and tear on Mondo's body. The interference, it didn't cause much to him physically, but it might have mentally. As now, look again, going after the legs. And the kendo stick shattering into the skin and an elbow drop right afterwards. Over and over again, stomping. As Wario's trying to work himself up another signature or finisher, and he's almost there. Standing, however. Picture perfect with that. Picks him up, plucks him up, and tosses him back into the ring. Not stunned, but he knows where he's going now. And if he lands this thing, it's definitely got to be resiliency, but look, he's standing back up. Wario said, you're not going to hit that on me. You're going to have to come at me. And look at that. He celebrates and says, you were too slow. Dusts his feet off, saying, this isn't the Mondo who beat me back in 2025. This is the Mondo whose jacket I took. This is the Mondo whose a motorcycle I took. This is the Mondo who couldn't beat anybody to save his life. Mondo's gotta prove him wrong. He's trying to prove him wrong. But with moves like that, it's starting to see him like he won't prove anyone wrong. As we are at a count of 3. Hold on a minute. Count of 4. Mondo almost back up to his feet, but gets sent right back down with a kendo stick and shattered again into Mondo. Stomped on the ankle. Mondo very close to being stunned. Count of 6. Wario stands him back up and sends him not into the ring, stuns him on the outside, and just embarrasses him. You gotta be kidding me. And says, yep, that's how you do it. I'm a smart man. Dust his hands off. Come on, Mondo, you gotta get in there quick. You gotta get in there quick. Mondo, quick. The taunting at the end was perhaps the most, I don't want to say sinister, but was perhaps the most disgusting display that I've seen in a minute. He took him to the outside, whooped the kendo stick on him, tossed him into the LED post, and then said, "I'm smarter than you." Dusted his hands off, and the referee counted to 10 just a moment before Mondo could get back into the ring. And here's the thing. Now I'm starting to think, hey, maybe these two also talk to Shingo La'Mingo. Not these two being Mondo and Wario. I'm talking maybe Wario and the Third Law. Maybe Wario and Waluigi in the Third Law. I don't know. I don't know who has their allegiances to Shingo La'Mingo, but I want to once again point out, I've said this before in a chat, but I don't think I've said it here. And I won't, because that would probably be a bad idea. I just am going to say that Shingo La'Mingo and I do not have our ideals line up on how this show should be run. Huh? Y'all saw that too, right? Everyone saw what I just saw, correct? Cause if you didn't, you might want to go back and look at that. Anywho, tonight it is a fatal 4-way match. 3 competitors representing 3 other teams. And Deity Miku. Deity Miku has to win this matchup. And it's elimination. She has to win so that her girls don't have to defend against any of these teams this coming Friday. Can she do it? Or will they be defending against any team, essentially, that gets... It's essentially a Champions Contenders matches, but... Championship Contenders match, but it doesn't involve all the teams, and it just puts Miku on the spot for her disciples. I don't want to say it's sickening, but it is, in my opinion, just not right. At the very least, it should be Chi-Chi, or it should be Futaba out here. But instead, I don't know what's going on between, and we'll talk about it in just a second as the stars go. Black, and the list of folks that she prepared for this, also kind of diabolical. Also diabolical. And out first, it is your deity. It is the woman who called out Shingo La'Mingo, and Shingo said, yeah, no, I'd rather not talk to you. I don't know what the difference of opinion is with Miku and the difference of opinion rather is with Shingo. But I'll tell you what Shingo clearly does not like. Deity Hatsune Miku. She is literally beating her up before a match that she was supposed to be in and put Neru in instead. And now, she has to fight for her girls. She has to fight for the disciples, and the pressure's on. It's almost like she's trying to turn the disciples, her friends, against her. Because we learned that it's not just them following Miku. It's not just them being her disciples. It seems like they are truly and sincerely people that she cares about, and vice versa, but it doesn't feel like Shingo understands that. Maybe it's because nobody cares about Shingo La'Mingo. Maybe because she's not capable of human understanding and compassion, or maybe it's because she has something against Miku and she has something against the AWE. But she won't budge to tell anyone, and that makes her dangerous in the spot that she is in. The best of luck to Deity Miku. Because if she doesn't come out on top of this one, it could be a rough showing for the champions on Friday. I'm sorry, I was kind of vibing to the song for real. But she do got a banger, I'm gonna give it to her. But I digress. Dial it back. Let's see who's representing each of these teams tonight. Okay, well. And I guess it's actually fitting that we talk about her as well. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. It is Miss Chidoan, accompanied by Neru. These two had a tag team title opportunity when the Disciples won the titles back. They failed. In fact, I believe they were the first team out. And now they found themselves back in this spot. Why? Because they earned it? No, because somebody is in charge. Somebody is in charge who keeps spoon-feeding them opportunities. In fact, spoon-fed Sarah a match where she could beat up Splendid with a crooked referee. Sarah took the win in that matchup. Tonight, she looks to take another win. At the very least, get a pinfall and find herself in another tag team opportunity. Sarah, I'm not going to say the best of luck to you. Because I'll be real, from late 2025 to now, you've been off your rocker. Since you've come back, since you've returned, you had a great match with Marin that ended with a little bit of a referee questionable calling, and instead of, you know, doing things right and saying, okay, let's just have ourselves another match, you broke, and then you continued to break, and you shattered, and it was just a bad time. You know why I think should be in this match instead? It should be, there's a couple teams that I could pluck out. I could pluck out, I don't know, Neo Farina. I could pluck out, man, I don't know. After what happened earlier tonight, I almost want to say that the homegirls, Nemona and ECP, should have an opportunity. There's a lot of tag teams in this division. Racket of Psalm are here. But I was going to say the Flame Tribe should have an opportunity as well. There's a lot of teams that could have an opportunity, but instead, I can't argue with this pick. Racket of Psalm came back together, and and here's the thing. I still can't call them Racket of Psalm. They're just out here together. They're not walking out together. They're not doing their little tag team entrance. Marina and Panette are here. Marin seems to be fighting for the team. That is bad news for everyone in this fight. And Marin has history from the end of the year, as we were just talking about, with Sarah. In fact, Sarah is a pretty big Marin op. She does not like Marin either. And I'm part of me is positive that maybe Shingo put Marin in this match so Sarah could maybe alleviate some of the demons still swirling around inside of her, but that doesn't work for Sarah. They don't alleviate. She just wants more and more revenge. She's lost it. She's lost it with a lack of any better term. She's just lost it. It is a championship contenders match without the champions. Miku's gonna have to contend with Marin, who I don't think she's ever fought one-on-one. I'm not sure if she's ever fought ever. But we'll see if she fights her. Well, we'll see if she fights her tonight. She will be fighting her tonight in a fatal four-way match. And last but not least, as we whip through, no pun intended, because here comes Sherazard, Vaughn Harvey, the Whip Sisters, aka Crack the Whip, are here. Sherazard Von Harvey, let me tell you. Let me tell you, Sherazard with Von Karma, who made it to the finals again of the Royal Crown tournament, was unable to come up with a victory. Shara, good luck, is all I will say. We love to see Shara. Shara, I was gonna say, here's the thing, I don't hate most of the people in this matchup. I have something against, you know, Sarah right now. I got a little something against, you know, Neru. But, like, overall, I like everyone involved in this matchup. I just don't like how this matchup came to be. Look at that. Everyone came out with their partner, but Miku could not come out with hers because they were all banned from ringside. Something that I really don't think was necessary either. It's Fatal 4-Way, it's elimination. One person will stand tall, get a pinfall, and you will go on to a tag team championship match at Inferno March 6th. Oh, look at that, caught the foot. And then, oh my gosh, caught the foot and went into a German suplex right afterwards. Sarah going diving and goes falling flat. Marin also falls flat because Miku went to step out of the way and target Sherazard instead with a Hurricane Rana. And as you can see, Sarah and Marin have not settled their issues, but a big splash doesn't land again as Neru distracting Sherazard. As Sarah gets into the ring and cracks a steel chair on her head, and then one to Marin, and then one to Miku, but Marin still stood tall. Marin still stood tall, and let me tell you, those issues that we were talking about, they're anything but over. Just one, and that was a big smack to the face of Sarah, too. You might want to check your referees. Oh, man, look at that! Knocked her down, and everyone's down. Double axe to the back of Sarah into the ladder. Oh, my gosh, and the arm. The arm of Sarah into that ladder as well, but look at this. Goodness, okay, that wasn't onto the ladder. It actually might have hurt the tailbone of Sherazard more. She went cheeks first onto that ladder. Jeez Louise. Sent over towards, knocking the chair out of the hands of Marin. Sarah going after anybody that moves. As there seems to be, I was gonna say, not an alliance between these teams, but everyone seems to not really love Sarah in this matchup. Sarah's got two ops in this matchup. Miku, who's not down with the IRC, Marin, who's not down with the IRC, and here's the thing, Sherazard, she's just down for what is right, and what is right is not the IRC, in her opinion. In her opinion. Do I agree with that opinion? Mayhaps. Mayhaps. But I'll tell you what, here's the problem. And did you see that, by the way? Sherazard hitting Miku, but then also getting a stray onto Neru, and Neru, who's holding her head afterwards, is not too fond of what just transpired. Rolled through, and Sarah's down. Miku celebrating, but poor timing is... You can't celebrate around Marin like that. All of the other tag team partners all around. Miku's thrown into the ring. Panette says, hey, let me get a little weapon in here. Let me add a little chaos as Miku goes face first into the barricade. As now they're really battling all over the ring. Everyone in the front row is getting their money's worth tonight. Sherazard bumping their heads together. When it comes down to it, this is still an opportunity to get an opportunity of gold. And on the outside, SSS signature lands as Sherazard goes chest first into the steel steps. And now they are all alone. Marin goes right back after Sarah. Couple of kicks, taking Marin down. Can you imagine if Sarah were to win this thing? I would be, you know, I don't know if I would say I'd be furious, but I would not be happy. Happiness is not the word I would have used. And here's, you know what else? You know, okay, I was talking about teams who should have been here. If one team, I think we all know the biggest team who was snubbed from this matchup, and if you're Pi, you're gonna say Hot Topic, but if you're anyone else with common sense, you're gonna say that it's Yor. It's Yor, and it's Kafka. Why aren't they in here? Because the IRC is a team that does not deserve it, a team that should not have it, but a team that certainly has it tonight. It should have been Assassin's Web and not these two, if this match even had to happen, but it didn't. Instead, we're seeing Shingo show favoritism to run the show how she wants it for the people that support her. Marin! Little soul-snatching action. We know that she can use that to essentially unseal powers. To some degree, at least to the sake of Amon. Maybe it's a cleansing of the soul, but look at this. Oh my gosh. Pinnell was like, hey, I'll punch you in the face. You wanna go? We can go. Oh, but Sarah in a standing, oh my gosh, vertical suplex to turn into a brain buster, and look at that, took her partner down. And this is what I was talking, we talked about this on Friday. We've seen a lot of miscommunication from Marin and Panette, and that might just be another notch on that miscommunication scale. Leg drop to the back of Shera's arm. Big boot to Miku. But Marin still stood tall and rolls Sarah into the ring. Big kicks. Everyone's got resiliency, but once again in a match like this, resiliency might not matter. In a match like this, resiliency might not be No, hold on a minute. Sarah, hold on a minute. There was really no reason for that. Hold on. No. Just toss her back in there and knock down the table. There we go. That's what we like to see. Goodness gracious. There's a bunch of folks in the AWE who just want to, like, decimate somebody. And you know what? It's crazy. We have people who are afraid of fire, and they're just reckless abandon, setting tables on fire, popping under. And look at that, Luthaz, and on the outside, Miku in trouble, but gets a reversal. Back down to her feet. Speaking of feet, Shera catches Sarah's, but Sarah, powerbomb position now, it's Shera who's fighting back. Charizard has a signature finisher. Sarah has neither. And speaking of, tried to drop Sarah, but Sarah reverses the finisher. Knee strike to the guts. Miku looking over at Marin and goes diving, misses. Clothesline as everyone's still outside the ring except for Sarah. Sarah saying the falls have to happen in here. And look at this. The biggest op is here, pops over, and DDT's right after. Come on, Marin. You know what to do. You know what it is. Get to the corner. Yo, she's feeling so cool. And she's hitting an even cooler kick in town. Get Sarah down, burn that resiliency 1, 2. Ooh. Not quite. That's not it. That is not it. Calls for... Says, I still got a lot left for you if you want it, but falls. A little bit of a misstep, something rarely we see from Marin. Went for a big boot there. But lifts Marin on the shoulders. No, not face bursting. Face first into the exposed turnbuckle. Marin might be out cold. Maybe out cold on the outside. Miku's doing whatever it takes to make sure that her girls don't have to defend those titles against any of these teams. Rolling senton. Sarah just staring up. Von Karma looks like she tried to get herself involved. Sarah realizing she got a signature and a finisher. Look at what Miku was doing on the outside, though. Dang. Right on the Shera. Turned around. Can you imagine? Panette will never let Marin hear the end of it if if Marin is the one who doesn't earn them this tag team opportunity. Stomp to the arm. And that tornado kick to the back, Sarah's kendo kick, and it is potentially done for resiliency on Marin. That's 1, that's 2. It's not. And this is what I was talking about. This is our main event. Running with that power bomb. Oh my gosh. Popped over again and lands that DDT again, center of the ring. Center of the ring, and Marin may be thinking it is time. Oh, she reversed it. She reversed the coolest kick in town. She reversed the coolest kick in town. And oh my gosh, a blind shot, but 2 pinfalls at the same time. 1, 2. Miku burns, but both kick out. And if you are the disciples watching on, that is not what you want to see. 1, 2. Marin survives and does not burn. Miku is the only person who will burn resiliency in this fight. She is fighting for her girls, but it might not be enough. Sarah looking to put Marin through a table. And looking no longer, gets it done, and Miku might be gone. 1, 2, and it's gone. No, no. I was gonna say it's guaranteed to be a title match at Inferno, but that's not the case. Miku somehow survived and rolled into a pinfall. Waits for Sarah to get up, and out of nowhere, she's hitting Gospel into the pinfall. Referee took her sweet time for Sarah. 1, 2. Resiliency is burned on Sarah. Resiliency is burned on Sarah, but the coolest kick in town does not land, but comes flush on the way back. Marin realizing she's got to be the one to get the job done if that's the case. 1, 2, and the Disciples will be defending at Inferno. Miku is out first. And it's something you expect in a match like this. In a match where, as much as you know that Miku is not the bad guy, Miku's the one who's being targeted, it's a dog-eat-dog world out in this tag team division for the ladies. If they can get Miku out first, they can ensure that they've got a shot. And right now, they have a shot against the Racket of Psalm. Will it become Fatal 4-Way? Will it become Triple Threat? That much I don't know, but look over there as Miku walks to the back with her head hung low. Couple more shots to the gut. And low drop kick, but nobody's home. Because, well, somebody was home, but Cheryl rolled out of the ring. Steel chair in hand. Goes right after Sarah, who just got up and just got put down, but from behind, it was like a chain reaction there. It starts with a chair and a hammer right behind. And a wyvern sleeper on the outside. Sarah might have to tap outside the ring, but that won't really matter. Oh, she actually might. Had to let her go. I was gonna say she, might have tapped outside the ring, but a shot to the back of the knee is not what you want. If you're Marin, not what you want when you've got the coolest kick in town. You don't want your legs weakened. But she's tossed back in. Sherazard is not desperate, but flying clothesline. Is in not a whole lot of need. She has not been hit with too much this fight now that I'm realizing. Has not been hit with too much this fight. Got over. Into. And again into. Sarah's like, okay, you know what? I'll put somebody else through a table. Don't mind if I do. Powerbomb position. Oh my gosh, a nasty powerbomb. And just saying, boom. It was not pretty, but it was hurtful. It was hurtful. Sarah going after Sarah. Remember, Sarah has burned resiliency, and she may be getting whipped down with authority. Pinfall, come on, get Sarah out of here. No, Marin, don't break that up. Don't break that up, girlie. Get Sarah out of here. At the very least, the IRC is not in that match. At the very least, the IRC is not in that match. Tossed around, drop kick. Here's the thing, none of the rest of this matters, I don't believe. Sarah just got that pinfall. Marin got this one. So it will be a triple threat match for the tag team titles at Inferno. Popped up and sent down. A little bit of a Somnium Slam-esque move there. Slid out the ring. Trash can in play. Did not go for the pinfall, which might have been a terrible decision. It's also hilarious that Nero's like, I'm going to keep watching this matchup. On the shoulders. And plants Marin down again. 1, 2. Hold on a minute. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I was certain that was going to be a resiliency. Certain. I'm sorry. Neru's still distracting Sherazard. What is she still doing out here? For what reason? I guess it was Cher that eliminated her partner. I guess she just wants to see Sarah lose this thing. Now it's just petty. Before, it was understandable because, you want to get your teammate the advantage, but now it is just petty. Walking around. Went for a stomp there. But instead, oh my gosh, nasty clothesline by Sherazard, who is still, once again, looking on top tonight. Trash can dropped. Marin rolls into the corner. Sets that table up. And could we see another table break here tonight? Oh, big boot right to the face. Flying clothesline sends her down. Oh, I thought she was setting that thing on fire. I was going to say, again? Ooh, standing dropkick, but Cher's still standing into the Wyvern Sleeper right after. Marin's got 3 finishers and a super. I have no idea what her super is. But apparently we're about to find out. Axe kick, super kick, big kick, and a coolest kick. Oh my gosh, the coolest combination in town. On to Sherazard for 1, 2, and Marin. Marin had just unleashed every kick in her arsenal against Sherazard. Every single kick in her arsenal against Sherazard. And Sherazard still was able to kick out. That is insane. That is insane. We've never seen Marin do that before. We've never seen Marin go wild like that before. Not 1 coolest kick, not 2 kicks, not 3 kicks. She had about 4 kicks, and then another coolest kick in town to end it all off. It was the craziest combination I've ever seen from Marin when it comes to her deadly kicks when it all is said and done at the end of the day. Goodness gracious. But that speaks to what Cher is made of, what the bracers instill in their units. 1, 2, Cher had to burn resiliency, and just like that, this match has turned itself right back on its head. Standing Cher right back up, tossing her into the table. For reversal, Cher saying, I'm not going through, and you're going down again. Goes into the pinfall, and that has to be resiliency right back. 1, 2. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. These two are going crazy. These two are going wild. And now it's Cher who's looking to put Marin through that table. Whoever puts the other through the table, it might be the end of this. But it's not gonna be Marin. Marin able to catch herself as well. Sends Cher into the corner, into the exposed turnbuckle. I did not realize into the exposed turnbuckle. Marin, I thought, was thinking about laying that table on the turnbuckle. Instead, drops it on Sherazard. Cher still hasn't moved, but look at this. Von Karma at the last second saying, hey, hold on a minute. Lay off my tag team partner. Come on. But look at that combination. Cher using that opportunity, but look at that. Marin reversing right back with a kick. Turned, ran her to the trash can, and then popped her off after the trash can stood in her way. Okay, hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on a second. The girls, they do be going crazy. Went for a nasty kick there. Followed her there, trying to hit her there, but both missing drop kicks. Cher has a signature, and this may be the beginning of the end. Right on to legs first onto the table. Ladies and gentlemen, 07's Marin is gone. Cher picks up the victory after, goodness gracious, an incredible final 2. If you are the Racket of Song, you gotta be proud. If you are Crack the Whip, you gotta be proud. But most notably, if you are the disciples of Miku, if you're Chi-Chi and Futaba, after seeing that final 2, knowing that those 2 are going to be in your tag team championship match, yo, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta be frightened. You have to be scared. This could be Sherazard and Von Karma's crowning moment. Will they go on to win the tag team titles. I'm not sure, but also we need to really point out here. We gotta point out here that, you know, the two who were in this matchup that, you know, didn't deserve to be in this matchup, Neru and Sarah, out second, but still out, and did not earn a spot in the championship match. Just want to put that out there. Do we have the super finisher? We don't have the super finisher. That was crazy. It was crazier when Charizard kicked out because I was like, oh, that's the end of the match. That was out of nowhere. She went crazy. Man, oh man. Charizard and Marin one-on-one at the end of this matchup was a treat. Chara crawled into the pinfall, body hurt, spent for 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote. The Disciples. Very much unfair that Miku had to fight for them. Miku had a target on her back the entire time because of it. And now they have to defend. How will that stir with the Disciples? Probably fine. It's probably going to stir more so that they are not akin and not liking the IRC, but at this point, who likes the IRC? Not me. Absolutely not. But we will go on. That is our show, and let's talk about it. Charizard versus Marin at the end of that match was something special. It was something special. Wario versus Mondo. At the end, it was Wario who said, I'm smarter than you. Even after an attack from the third law. Hit Mondo's head against the LED post, walked into the ring, did this, and then dusted his hands off. Embarrassed him. EST proved that she is why she calls herself the strongest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest in the AWE. She might have a bright future ahead of her. Another count out. Disrespecting the mask wearers, and more importantly, disrespecting ECP, making sure ECP never got into that match. They just beat up Nemona at the very end. Majima tried to take off the mask again. Majima, I don't know what he's got against luchadors, but he's got something against him. But you gotta imagine, Elphelt might have felt bad about this, but seeing Punch Up, because those two have apparently become close, a couple of drinks brings people together, is right there, and he took down the Fight Forever champion. We might have to see those two face off for the title in the very near future. That is Rebellion tonight. We'll check out our news. I think our real news is Charizard hurt after that. Marin also hurt. Both going into a championship match. The third law took advantage of the no disqualification match. It was a singles match. Shingo just keeps changing rules with her little referee. Goodness gracious. Elphelt injured. Fuyuhiko and Majima earned a victory over the tag team, their opponents in tag team action. However, winning wasn't enough for them. Proceeded to shove and kick. I didn't see this. Shoved and kicked Nemona and ECP in a belligerent display to the crowd. I don't know when this happened. It might have been during the replay. I missed that. Mitarai has been cleared. Good for him. Kazuichi's cleared, and Bernice is actually cleared as well. That's crazy, because Bernice, I feel like, has been injured since AV Mania. Hey, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Good on you, Bernice. You've been injured since AV Mania, which has been months. That is Rebellion, March 6th. You want to look forward to it, but we have a step until we get there. So give me a little cha-cha. No, give me the stars. That has been our show. Next week, we will have some more shenanigans, more AW Rebellion, and hopefully less Shingo La'Mingo, but we probably won't. Until then, I am taking off. Toodaloo Flight Crew. Thank you for watching.